Morning, America. We're in Idaho, and we're gonna do a little quick info interview kind of thing with Tom here. I don't know really what to call it, but basically find out a little bit more about Tom and who he is, and what his social security number is and all that kind of stuff. But no, we're just going to find out more about him and kind of get you interested in him, so might go over and check his channel out. He's got a pretty good channel. What's the name of it?
HoboTech.
HoboTech. How'd you come up with that?
I came up with the name by just putting together hobo and tech.
Traveling, but high-tech. Yeah, high-tech traveling?
High-tech traveling.
There you go.
That's basically what it is, because my background is technical, and I became a hobo. So.
NASA technical, or
yeah.
what did you do? I mean, in life. I mean, what was your job?
My job for the past...
In the previous life.
My previous life, the past 25 years, I've basically been doing everything in the tech industry related to computers and computer software. Mm-hmm. So I've done everything from baseline technical support, like I used to work for AT&T, like someone would call up and say, I have a problem with my computer or internet connection, and I'm working at the giant call center with 300 other people.
So I didn't know that.
That's when those jobs were still here in this country. So,
okay, all right.
So a lot of
you didn't want to move to India?
A lot of that stuff has been outsourced to India, yeah.
So,
but
all right.
That was, how I got my start in the industry, was just doing that. Yeah. And then worked my way up to other companies, and started working with the medical software industry.
That was the company in California?
It's a company in California I worked for 16 years. Mm-hmm. They did medical software and medical hardware interfaces to hospital computers.
Yeah, well, medical software, I understand a shot in the arm, that's not medical. That's medical, but it's not software, it's not computer. Yeah. What do you need software for in a computer? I mean, it's kind of, I kind of understand it, but I'm a dummy when it comes to this stuff. So,
okay,
real dummy for me. What's it mean?
Okay, so you guys know when you go to the doctor's office and you get your blood drawn, mm-hmm. right, and they send it off to this lab, this mystery place.
Okay.
And you get results back.
Okay.
So what happens in the background is they send it off to a lab, and those labs have these big, giant robotic machines that do all the blood work and everything.
I've seen movies and documentaries on that. Yeah.
So these machines that spits out the data, like about your blood or mm-hmm. whatever it's testing, and in the old days it would be printouts. So they'd put it on physical paper, and sometimes today they still keep paper as a backup. That's like their backup plan in case mm-hmm. the power goes out. But now today it's all digital, so the results come out of those machines.
The little band.
Yeah.
And they scan your wrist.
Scanned now. So that's your patient identification. Okay. So that goes relates directly to the record that's in the computer. Mm-hmm. So.
And they're at the blood testing with the robots and everything. How does that all tie together?
That ties together. That the information gets sent out of the machines, mm-hmm. goes into what's called a laboratory information system. It's basically just a giant database of patient information.
Ones and zeros.
It's ones and zeros about everything about you, all your problems and what you're in there for.
That'd be there's a lot of terabytes for that.
and so your entire medical history and everything's done is saved in this database, mm-hmm. in this laboratory information system. Mm-hmm. That's what we built. We built mm-hmm. that piece of software called a laboratory information system that stores your data, mm-hmm. transmits it out to your doctor, transmits it out to the insurance company, so anything that needs to get paid for, there's a billing software would go out on that. So we did all that. And
you were the translator from all the different companies that have this software, that company has this software. You're the hub that everybody talked through.
That's a hospital information system. That's a little bit different.
Oh.
Those guys are the ones that took over the industry and put companies like mine out of business. Because what was happening was they were going, everybody knows that everything, the big companies are buying up the small companies. Mm-hmm. Same thing's happening in the medical industry. So the big hospital information systems, mm-hmm. Baxter and them, there's always like these big giant mm-hmm. companies. And they're buying up all the small fry.
Okay. And if they don't buy them up, they put them out of business.
That's exactly what they do. So what they'll do is they'll buy them up and force them to switch over to their software. Mm-hmm. And so that's essentially what was happening to my company. And we mm-hmm. were like, started in the 70s, so it was a very long, pretty long company when it comes to.
You were with them since? No, you weren't with them since.
I wasn't with them since the 70s.
Okay,
that's when they started.
Okay.
So they're one of the long hauls. Mm-hmm. They were one of the long hauls.
Right.
And so the companies are going out of business left and right, the small ones. And you know, my company started not making money because of this. Who's gonna sign up with a small fry if you're buying a new lab? You're gonna sign up with one of the big companies. They're gonna give you a better deal, and they have more support and all that. Well, you know, my company didn't want to change their ways. When I was a manager in there, I kept saying we need to update the software, we need to do this and that, and make the company money, make it better. Well, I was ignored for about 10 years, and then things just got worse and worse. They started doing layoff after layoff.
You survived several of those, but finally...
Yeah, when I started the company, when I started my job there, they had over 140 employees. By the time I was laid off in 2016, it was down to 7.
Wow.
So we had like some serious layoffs over the years.
They were in the death throes, basically.
I made it down to the very end.
Okay.
And the reason why it was so bad is because the company just couldn't make any money.
Right.
So as of today, we're here in 2018. That office is gone that I used to work at. They completely shut down.
Is the company out of existence?
The company is still around, but they have a home base in another state. I don't want to say because you'll be able to figure it out.
Okay.
But they have a home base in another state right now, and that's
okay. All right.
That's
enough details. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're in L.A. area roughly.
Yeah, I live in L.A.
Kind of northwest of L.A. if I remember right.
Yeah, west. Yeah.
West of it. That's out in the ocean.
Yeah.
You lived in Now, there is the coast goes up and you can actually live west of LA, believe it or not. But anyway, you lived out there somewhere, and we're commuting back and forth, doing the how long of hour 2 hour drive in LA kind of crap?
Yeah, it was about 20 miles each way every day on the 101. If anybody's ever driven on the 101 in Los Angeles, you know exactly what it's like. And every year it gets progressively worse as more and more people move there.
So you were in the rat race.
I was very deeply in the rat race. I was one of the big rats.
Okay, so you're in LA in the rat race, and company says, "All right, we can't afford you anymore," and you say, "Okay, what am I going to do now?" So you looked around for another jobs and whatever, and decided.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking. What did you do?
So kind of like how the RV thing all ties into this is.
Right. Because that's where we're going with this.
About a year before I was laid, let's go back a little bit further. A couple years before I was laid off, we're talking about 2013, I went to New Zealand and I did a month-long RV trip with some friends. It was the best time I ever had in my life. Like, it was...
You're lucky. I would love to go down there.
Spent lots and lots and lots of money in a very short period of time, did all the fun stuff, you know, hot air balloons and everything.
Did you do the jet boat?
Yep, we did the jet boats.
Yeah.
we did the glowworm caves. We did both islands. Did
all the touristy stuff, yeah.
All the touristy stuff, and it basically completely changed my mind.
But
to
you didn't live in hotels. You had an RV.
We had an RV,
and you traveled around living in the RV.
Yeah,
and that somehow triggered something.
That triggered something in me that says, "Why can't I do this all the time?"
Yeah.
And so when I came back to the States, I was completely miserable because now I didn't want to go back to my grindy job after living the life like that for a month.
Yeah.
And that's when that's when the gears started grinding in my head. What can I do to transition into a lifestyle where maybe I can be a little more free and not tied down into one place like that?
You started doing Google searches?
We're in a different place every day. It was so much fun. So I started doing Google searches, and I started finding these blogs. Financial blogs, like how to save money, how to be frugal, how to cut your expenses, so that you can afford travel, so you can afford to do all the things you want to do. Because the problem, especially living in LA, you know, the housing prices go up so much, and the cost of living so high.
I can't fathom why it costs so much.
You can have a $100,000 a year job. You're going to pay $75,000 of that for housing and then you might have enough left over to go out once in a while and have a dinner.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though it's a wonderful place to live and you're making a lot of money, you're really not getting a lot for your money.
Same thing in New York City, same kind of thing, yeah. All the big cities, Chicago, all that.
So that was the problem. And so I'm like, I got to find a way to cut my expenses. So I started watching anything I do is saving money and frugal. And that's when I started running into Bob Wells.
Okay.
And Bob Wells is the guy, if you're in the RV industry or van dwelling, he's like the big guy that he's like the leader of the tribe.
Yeah,
so to speak.
Yeah.
So I started watching his videos, and Stan was the same way.
Kind of thing.
He watched the same videos, and I started thinking, man, you can actually like live in an RV or live in a van.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was all this free camping in the country. I thought when you camped, you paid for a place.
You go to Yellowstone, pay $30 to get in, and $500 a night for the RV hookup.
Yeah.
Or $100 bucks a night for a tent. Yeah.
Yeah. Even at a campground, if you're going to spend $10-20 a day, you may as well go ahead and have an apartment for that kind of money.
Right.
I didn't realize there was all this BLM and National Forest that was free, like all over the country.
Which even gets better as you get older, because you start getting the discounts for going into state parks and national parks and all that.
Yeah.
You can get passes for. I mean, once you get 60 or 62, I'm not sure which year, but
I think it's 62.
Well, you start getting all these huge passes or discounts and stuff to go to this stuff. So people that are older, I think you probably already know this, but it's even cheaper to do it that way. They still gig us younger guys. So, okay. So anyway, you start watching Bob Wells and decided one day you were going to do it, or?
Well, I started thinking. I'm like, okay, now here I am in California. I want to get the heck out of California. It's just not my place anymore. So I'm like, I'm stuck in this grind job. I still had ties in the local area and stuff that I needed to break. So a couple of years trickled by. We're getting close to the time where I'm like around 2015.
You're still working though?
I'm still working up to 2015, and I'm going, okay, 2015 is the year I really started to get serious. I started looking in classify ads, and I started researching what kind of RV or van or whatever am I going to do. I'm like watching tons of YouTube channels and trying to figure it out.
Same thing I did, yeah.
So here comes 20. It was pretty.
2017.
It was pretty amazing. Okay, so here we are in 2015, December 2015. We go on our holiday break. The company shuts down over Christmas for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So come back in January, and I just had this feeling, right? I have this gut instinct that something's going on.
Right.
Especially when I find out that the boss is flying up, because the boss is in the other office. He flew up without telling me. I'm running the office in California. He's flying to my office and didn't tell me about it.
Right.
I knew something was up.
Right.
And this was like, I was only back to work for a week.
This can't be good.
This can't be good.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I'm starting to smile, because I go, here it is. If this happens,
the chain's about ready to break.
This is the trigger that's going to get me, give me permission to be free. And so, yep, came in, shook my hand, says, come into my office, let's have a talk. And he's like, I'm sorry, we can't afford to have you around, we got to let you go. And I
had that talk one time 30 years ago. Yeah.
You're like the best guy we have, and I can't, he was almost shedding some tears, when he was letting me go. And everyone in the office is all upset, because I did all their jobs for them. So now that I left, they have to go back to work. Yeah. And so it's like signing me my last checks and stuff, and he's frowning, and I'm smiling. Yeah. He's like, why are you smiling? I was like, well, I finally can get out of here. I don't have to work anymore. Yep. And so on my way home,
the rat is free.
On the way home, I stopped and got a bottle of single malt. Went back home.
He's celebrating getting fired.
I celebrating getting fired. My buddy, my best friend, Billy's brother. Yeah. He called.
You'll get to know Billy. Watching his channel.
You'll get to know Billy if you watch my channel. His brother was my best friend. I worked with him at the company for many years. And he called me up right after. He goes, "You son of a bitch!" He goes, "I can't believe they fired you instead of me." To this day, because he's like one of the last guys.
He's still there.
He's working from home. The office closed, right? The building's gone. They let him work from home.
Yeah.
He still calls me up and he go, I hate you. They still haven't fired me yet, because he wants to get fired so he can get the unemployment and then get out of California.
Right. Yeah, buys him time to get out.
Buys him time to get out. He's got kids and everything else. Right. So I didn't have any of that. I had no kids and no wife or nothing like that. Right. So for me to move into a van or to have this lifestyle is not a big deal. I'm just changing my life.
Right. It's sell easy. Furniture and grab the cat and go.
Yeah, sell my stuff. Right. Yeah, grab the cat and go.
All right, so you did that. You sold everything, and that was one of the things on his video. I started watching him. Bob Wells did a video on my truck on his channel, and an interview and whatever the truck, and he made a comment on that, and I just happened to see it, and I think you had a link or something about your channel, and I don't know, somehow or another I went over and watched his channel, and you had like 5 videos up. I mean, it was right at the beginning, and his very first video is I can't even. If basically, I'm in the house and I'm want to do this. I'm going to go do this. I got to start selling. So he starts the blog, I guess. Basically, day by day, not day by day, but step by step, what he did to get rid of all this stuff, sell it. Shows kind of the classified, going hunting the RVs. You looked at a few of them.
Yeah.
Settled on this one. Went and bought this. You got another video about that. Now what I've got all this junk in the house. I got to sell this eBay type stuff. And he goes through the process of breaking the chain of the rat race and getting away from it all. And that's what hooked me on his channel. Was this is from day one. It's not somebody that's been doing it for 5 years and you hear the story later. This is in progress. This guy's life is changing. And I couldn't go away from it. And be honest, some of the first videos were pretty slow, you know, because you were new at it, and just like my first videos were very slow.
Yeah, the first videos are pretty bad, but it's just part of the story.
Exactly. It's part of him learning how to break the chain and learn how to do the YouTube stuff and learning how to video and all the different steps and learning how to present on camera, so to say.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to say you've made leaps and bounds on that, because he's real good now. So what you can do is go over and watch his channel a little bit and see if you like it. It's HoboTech. Go to YouTube and just type in HoboTech and you'll see him. Just look for that ugly mug.
That's right.
And you can follow along, and if you like it, actually go back. And how many videos do you have now overall total?
140-ish, I think.
Okay, so if you're one of those binge watchers and everything, you can go back and watch from day one. You've got a playlist called In the Beginning, and it's just from day one of YouTube of him breaking the chains of. It's not really of the day you left the office, but it was the first when you decided I'm going to go get in the van.
When I decided, I was pretty sure I wanted to start doing a YouTube channel. So I said, maybe if I'm going to do a YouTube channel, I should start capturing this process, because I was like, this is the day I decided I was not going to look for work anymore in LA, because I spent the first 6 months kind of just enjoying being free. Like, you know, I worked pretty much
during your unemployment.
Since the day I was 19, from up to that point, I never really had a break.
Right.
So I finally had a couple of months to breathe and kind of do what I wanted to do. And I said, I need to make a decision. Am I going to try to get another job in LA and stay in LA and California, or am I just going to sell everything and move into an RV or a van and try to find somewhere else to go?
Right.
So that was the day when I decided I'm going to sell everything and find somewhere else to go, and I'm giving up on looking for actual, like, another full-time job
in the tech industry. Yeah. So so anyway, you bought the van and you decided it wasn't high tech enough for you. What's the story?
Yeah,
real quick, because we're getting pretty long here.
Yeah, I have a 1995 road track. So it is, when I bought it, it was completely factory. Nothing was changed in it. It had,
1995 technology.
1995 technology.
Which is
so
20-year-old technology.
So I tore all of that out and I replaced it with 2017 technology. And I have a whole 50 plus videos of me doing every single step, every single thing that I did on it.
Yeah.
I recorded, I made a specific video on that thing that I was doing that day. And yeah, it took 3 months.
Yeah, if you're really tech minded and stuff, you'll enjoy that. Some of the videos are very. My eyes glossed over on a few of them because I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about, you know. But other things I saw were like, wow, this is a great idea, and I used them in my van, you know, things. But where was I going to go with that? Over on his channel when he's doing this build and everything, everything that he used, all the different items, he kept track of and everything. And now you've got an Amazon page.
Yeah, now I have an Amazon
links
page
and all that. Shows all the different
things. The products that I use, because everybody was asking me, so where'd you get this?
Yeah, where'd you get this fan? Where'd you get that battery?
So I decided I'm going to make a page and put it up on my website. You can click on the products and it'll take you to Amazon, and I get like a little small pittance if you buy it. You know.
Yeah, that's how Amazon works.
The Amazon affiliates.
You're kind of like a. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, everybody knows how that works.
Yeah.
So you've got an Amazon page, you've got YouTube. What else do you have?
I have a Patreon.
You have your own website too.
I have my own website, HoboTech.tv.
Okay. And Patreon, and anyway, so that gives you an idea who he is, and if you're intrigued, I think you ought to go over and watch him. Nice guy. He looks like shit, but he's a nice guy. No. Anyway, I'm just.
Where's that fly swatter?
Yeah. So, but we forgot. We got to talk about the star of the show.
Oh, Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell them about your cat. It's a cat.
It's a cat.
Odin's got a
what
good
else do you want me
personality.
to say about the cat?
Odin's got a pretty good personality too.
The
But
cat talks on
know,
my
the-
channel sometimes. It's kind of amusing.
yeah, he plays with that. He's got a pretty good sense of humor, and I've tried to get him to do a like a sub series just on Odin and doing some kind of robotic cat or I don't know. So, in other words, make him into a living Garfield kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's I don't know. I'll think about it. So, but Odin, he's what kind of cat is he?
He's a Norwegian forest cat, so he's not a long hair and he's not a short hair, but he's like in the middle.
Okay.
And he's polydactyl on all 4 feet, so he's got 6 toes per foot.
Yeah.
It's
It's
kinda
a Hemingway
crazy.
thing, right?
So he's got these giant feet,
Yeah.
and he has big fluffy cat.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
You can see him on my
he's
channel.
on the channel.
He's in every video.
Yeah. So anything else? Oh, just he's got the van, and then do you have any other transportation beside the van?
I have an electric bike that I built myself.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
I get a lot of views on those
Yeah.
videos because people are really interested on how I put it together. It's got a 65-mile range, and it hauls my fat rear around through these
He ain't
trails.
fat. Not compared. You can see here.
Yeah.
He's not that big of a guy. But yeah, I rode it. It could support me, so I rode it out the
We got
RTR.
that on video.
Yeah, got it on his channel, so you can
You
go back
go to
and
the
search that up.
RTR videos, you'll see him riding the bike. He's like, woohoo, this is great.
I'm a child.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's a good kind of introduction to Tom, who I've been up here with for what, 2 days now, and I'm getting ready to leave this afternoon and head north. But I kind of forced him to do this. He was going, I don't know, and I'm like, no, it'll be good. You'll do fine. So.
We did an hour-long live video. yesterday.
Most important thing, yes,
Yeah.
on his channel. This is good. A lot of people. I don't know a lot. There's a segment of my viewers keep saying, do a live video, do live video, do live video. And the thing is, when I'm driving a truck, it's hard to do live video because I never know exactly where I'm going to be. Am I going to have good stuff? Okay, we can do it on Saturday night at 6 p.m. But where am I going to be? I might be out in no cell signal.
That's the same reason why I don't do a lot of them.
I might have to be driving. I don't have time to stop and do a video. So I don't do the live things very much. And another reason is it doesn't really, I like to keep everything in order as they go. And anyway, we did a live view for his channel yesterday. And it was an hour and 8.
It was a little over an hour.
It was about an hour some long. But it was good. We were cutting up and everything. And it was all his viewers sending questions in to him and then to me and asking me stuff. And a lot of them didn't know who I am. There's some that watched both of us already anyway. But I guess the whole point of all this is try to get a few more viewers over to him because he's worth it. Okay, so that's where we're going with all this. But
it's really funny. I think you guys will really enjoy watching that live replay.
Yeah, the Asin.
Yeah.
The Asin.
The Asin. If you don't know what we're talking about, you have to go
watch the video and you'll understand it.
Yeah.
There's Asin, and what was the other thing? The HoboTech was
HoboTech backwards.
Tohobaha, or something like that. Tohobaha, yeah. So anyway, we were joking around about that. So I think that's enough. So
that's enough.
You good?
See you guys over at HoboTech.
All right. You got to do the ciao thing. Ciao.
Ciao.
There you go.